now, but it's okay. No, okay, thank you all. Thank you for choosing to be here for this session. In this session, we will discuss about university ESN cooperation. So this will be very useful for all of you, the volunteers, for that in one way or another you cooperate with your Erasmus Plus office or with your university in general. And for that, we have 3 representatives from 3 different universities in this panel. And we have also 2 ESN representatives to provide their perspectives. And okay, if you count me as well, we have 3 ESN representatives, so we have a very good balance, 3 and 3. So I will start with the introductions. From my left, we have Chantal Riccardi. I'm sorry for the pronunciation of the Italian names, I'm really bad on that. And she's from the University of Pavia, right? And she's the chair of the Mobility and Exchange Group of Coimbra Group, which we will tell you later what this is about. Then we have Tiziana Gatti from the University of Siena, and you were also the vice chair of the same group, right?
Until last January.
Until last January. Okay, perfect. Then we have Veronica Costa from University of Padova, also former member of ESN. And then we have 2 ESNers with us. We have Angel Perez from ESN Granada, and we have Alessandro Grassini from ESN Siena. They will provide us, as I said, the perspective both from universities, but also from the ESN section, how they cooperate between them. I will start with Chantal to tell us a little bit about the Coimbra Group, and we will tell you later, you will understand why we are bringing Coimbra Group to this discussion. So Chantal, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Could
you hear me without microphone?
Yeah,
it's okay.
You will be listening in the streaming. That's why you
so, just a moment. Could you hear me? No?
Yes, now
okay.
of course.
So, hello to everybody, and thank you first of all to the ESN International to have this great opportunity to speak to all of you, and thank you to be here, and thank you, Costis. I'm representing both the Coimbra Group as the chair of the working group of the academics and exchange mobility, but also I will take some inside point of view from my university, the University of Pavia too. Just let me know to ask to you if you are aware what Coimbra Group is. Just raise your hand if you. Someone of you knows? Okay, that's good. So I can explain just shortly what is it. The Coimbra Group is a network of ancient and long-standing universities with multidisciplinary dimension. We are composed by 41 European universities from 23 different European countries. And the principal aim of this network is to create collaboration and connection in some dimension like research, academic exchange, innovation, and take care about some European aspects concerning the higher education. In fact, one of the aim is also to be a stakeholder and to be a driver actor in the European dimension as the ESN as well. In fact, I'm really concerned about the role of the ESN as well, because I think that with some other important actors as Coimbra Group and other association and institutions have a really important role as a driver force to to drive a change in the European policies. I'm also representing the chair of a working group, because Coimbra Group is divided in 12 working groups, and the one that we are representing is the academics and exchange one. So we are I will say, the group that are more concerned with the students' contact aspects, and we work with the ESN section as well. And that's also where we can say later we have started a strong collaboration with ESN International as well, and also with the ESN local section. So I think that's the most important point of this collaboration, because I think that the students are the driving force, and I'm working at international relation mobility, so I'm working every day with incoming and outgoing students. And I was also Erasmus student, and I think that this strong collaboration is really important to help us and to help you to have a better experience and to increase the mobility in Europe as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Chantal. So basically, Coimbra Group then, a network of universities. You said how many? 41 universities, and not any university. It's like the oldest universities in Europe, like universities that are 500 years old, 600 years old. They are the most prestigious universities in Europe, grouped under Coimbra umbrella. And the three universities that we have here presented, the University of Siena, Pavia and Padova, the three of them, they're also part of the Coimbra Group. So because ESN International signed an agreement with the Coimbra Group, we thought that it would be good to have a session related to the universities that are part of the Coimbra Group and to the ESN sections. So today we will present you some best practices. And one of those best practices is this signing of Memorandum of Understanding that we did 2 or 3 years ago, I don't remember exactly. So ESN International signed this Memorandum of Understanding with the Coimbra Group, which means that now all the universities and the ESN sections that they belong in these 41 universities, they have an official partnership. So they have institutionalized, they have formalized their cooperation. And this is already a good practice that you can take back home, to think forming up this kind of partnerships with your own universities. In this Memorandum of Understanding, we already identified a few topics of cooperation, and Coimbra Group, they were very, very keen to work with ESN to implement social Erasmus activities. So basically activities that they will have social impact. And this is something that they proposed. So universities, they came to ESN and they thought about, okay, you have this very cool project, why not cooperating with us? And we will help you and you will help us to engage our students. So this is something that is very wonderful, and I'm happy to see that after 2 or 3 years, this collaboration has been evolved. But now I want actually to ask also our ESN representatives who are from sections that they belong to this cooperation. What is your opinion on that? How this cooperation has supported you so far? Maybe Angel, you want to start first?
Yeah. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
So, yeah, from what Chantal was saying and Kostis was saying, I think that the Coimbra Group acts as a platform to bring together international relations offices and ESN sections, regardless of the collaboration they already had at the local level. They act as a platform to put us together, to have some meetings together, also get to know ESN representatives from the other 40 universities in case we are part of one. But yeah, those meetings and those initiatives that the Coimbra Group is taking part of, they really motivate ESN volunteers to feel part of a network beyond the collaboration they can have with their own universities, right? So, apart from the Memorandum of Understanding that Kostis was mentioning, in our case, it's really important that we collaborate with our international relations office and universities itself, all the services involved in providing these activities and engaging students in these activities, because something that we strive and fight for is the enrichment of society through international students, right? So it's usually thought like a very personal and individualized concept, like there's the more international mobility only affects the person going on mobility, and we try to make universities think of how we can go beyond that, and that international mobility actually has an impact on the society. International students are doing the mobility with roommates, with classmates, with their neighborhoods.
And it was very interesting because I could see how we were helping each other in some way, because we were, as an ESN section, the middle ground between the Erasmus students that were realizing that we're part of a bigger network of universities, a very important one, and they were helping us to connect with the institutions around us in Siena, because one thing is to talk with other institutions, other bodies inside the city via email. Another thing is to present ourselves. This is us, this is what we do, this is how we work, and how we can be useful for you. Being part of a university inside the Coimbra Group means that they recognize us as the same way they recognize the other universities, the other ESN sections inside the universities. What I mean by this is they all agree to treat the ESN sections all the same, and to give us the space and the fuel, the possibilities that we need, the resources, that's what I was looking for, to do our best job possible. Yeah, so I'm very grateful to be inside this.
Perfect. Okay. I wish we had more, let's say, this kind of partnerships coming from ESN International to help all the sections. Of course, there are a few memorandum of understanding with let's say, with other networks, but not for all, not to cover all the sections in ESN. But okay, now we saw this example of two sections that they have very close cooperation with their universities and with their Erasmus offices. But I know that this is not the case in all ESN sections, and I know that many of you are struggling to convince your universities to work with you. You're trying to find tangible ways to convince them and tell them, hey, I'm here, I'm supporting the students, and if you help me, I can help you. So this is what I want to ask now to the representatives from the universities. We can start with Chantal again. Tell us why a university should cooperate with ESN. What is the benefit for the university? Why they should do it?
Could you hear?
Yes.
Yes, I already mentioned, I think that the collaboration with the ESN is fundamental for the universities and for the students. We discussed before with my colleagues as well, so I suppose they will agree with me that the collaboration with ESN is a key element for the university and for the international relation offices, because we have from ESN sections an inside point of view, so we have the point of view of the students. I've started to work at the International Relation Office when I was a student, like a volunteer, and then with a lot kind of contracts and so on. And yeah, of course, when I was a student or when I was younger, I had a different, different approach with the students. So I think that main parts of activities relating to the students are better done when we have this strong collaboration with ESN. I think my colleagues can give some practical suggestion or aspects.
Okay, so they bring you like the student perspective basically, which is sometimes difficult to grasp, like when you are buried under all these papers, the work and everything, you need someone on the ground to give you this student perspective, what they feel, what are their needs and so on. That's the one thing it's beneficial. Okay.
Yeah, not only, but...
Yes, thank you, thanks a lot, Chantal. Let's go to Tiziana now.
Thank you. Yes, so I totally agree with what Chantal said. This is, for us, it's something not even worth to mention, that is so important to have you with us on board. But I can confirm what Costi said, that it's not like this in any university, and we have some examples. I don't say the names, but I learned with big surprise from my side that there are some offices who really don't want students in their surroundings. Let's say, they don't accept, they don't recognize the value, or they don't see the value even. For Siena, this is really strange, because I don't want to talk about Siena, but we are quite special with this relation, because we started the program from the beginning, so in 1987, and already in 1989 we had a group within the office. They had their site in the office, and our actual vice rector, she was one of the first president of the section. So for us it's very easy to say that you are more than welcome to help us, and the other way around. But I know for sure, Professoressa Viviani, she used to be one of the first members. So for us it's not even to say, but I know that what you said is true, that it's not like that. And I know that, for example, in Italy, maybe it's also in other countries, the national agency strongly supports this connection, and they invite universities who are not in this mood to change their view. So I can confirm what Chantal said.
Veronica, as also former ESNer, what do you think? Like, now you wear the hat of the IRO and the university, but you can give us both perspectives maybe.
Yes, what I think is that sometimes we forget that we share the same goals. And the goal is to internationalize our environment, to strengthen the European identity towards mobility. And Erasmus is something really essential towards this goal. And so if you have a student and he's going to have the best year of their lives, and this is the aim for everyone, they're coming back home, and it's going to be helpful for ESN, as Alessandro was saying this afternoon, because you can get volunteers, you can get someone that is committed to the cause, and it is also essential for universities, because they're going back home, they're going to advertise the experience and the university to their classmates, to their friends, and we are increasing the numbers, and we are internationalizing even more our universities. So in order to make those students have the best year of their lives, you have to provide a quality service to them. And our offices, I'm speaking as an international relations officer now, our offices can do that up to a certain point. But of course we kind of like provide this emotional and social part of the experience. And this is why ESN is so important. And if I can, I would bring an example. Yes. I was a former ESNer. I organized 60, hundreds of events, so I can do that. But of course, in the moment I organize one event, it sounds boring, because I'm the institution organizing, a cocktail night, but still the institution. So we like trying to we're strengthening the collaboration with our ESN section, and we're doing that over the last few years. And so last month we decided, okay, we wanted our bodies to meet our Erasmus students, and we let the ESN section know that. We went there, I was there, okay, among them, and the waiter like he said sorry so many times to me because I'm an old lady. It was, I'm so sorry, there's so many people, it's so messy. So that's the point. ESN can provide a kind of service of help on a social point of view, but also, as Chantal said, also from the student perspective, also on much more important projects. And the moment you gain the trust within each other, you can create really nice projects also on even more important aspects and topics. So this is a remind them of these symbiosis and of this mutual interest.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Veronica. So, in few words, basically ESN keeps the students happy, and when they go back, they say, I had a wonderful time in this university. So ESN keeps the students happy, and then as a reality, as a consequence actually, it means that ESN helps to advertise the university, right? And then this university will have more students next year, and even more students the year after. So this is something that you can bring to the argument why universities should work with you. And yes, the universities, they have to organize activities for students as well, but it is always better if those activities are organized by students. I can imagine that. It's like if you want to go out with your friends and your parents are inviting you to, I don't know, to go out for dinner or whatever. So like, it's not the same. Okay, so we heard the perspective from the universities, but now I want to reverse the question, because there are also some other sections that they say, why should I bother to have a good cooperation with my university? If they don't want, I can leave it like this, and I can do my things. I can just go on. So I want to ask you, from the ESN point of view, why you believe that it's good to have a good cooperation with your university, because you are examples of two sections that they have this kind of cooperation. So maybe we can start this time with you, Alessandro.
Yes, as Tiziana was saying, we have a very, very good relationship with the University of Siena, even in small things. For instance, we, as a section, sometimes, all we do, we organize recruiting events to look for more volunteers. Maybe they just came back from Erasmus and they want to start the ESN Life, but they don't know yet. We have to convince them. And so to advertise them, we can ask the university to please send an email to all coming back students from Erasmus to let them know that we are doing this. They do it, and a lot of more people show up if they send this email than if they don't. Another example that actually Veronica was bringing up before is that if the university officially recognizes us as a partner in this beautiful thing that is the exchange year, they give us their sign of approval. That helps us against competitors. I don't know if in most of the countries there is a big problem with competitors, but in Italy there is. And seeing that we are the real ones, the original approved by the European Commission version of the Erasmus project, helps us a lot, because yeah, maybe we don't have the resources of a company that makes a living out of it, that invests a lot of money inside it, but we have means a lot.
So the two things that I keep from what you're saying is that they are supporting you in recruiting more ESNers, basically, right? When you organize the events, they promote this opportunity to homecoming students, those that they have been on Erasmus and they are returning back. And then the second one is it provides you credibility, right? Like having a good cooperation with the university provides you credibility that you are an organization that people they can trust because it is supported by the university or the commission or whoever. Okay, now Angel, your examples.
Yes. So recalling what Alessandro and Kosis were saying, like it's totally true that collaborating with universities gives you visibility, reach, and like recognition of the work you do as volunteers. So like, I think it's important to, like for us, what work is, we were mentioning in other session, it's, well, and Kostis mentioned it at the beginning of the session, the Erasmus Charter for Higher Education are the commitments that universities have in order to participate in the Erasmus Plus program. So we identify the difficulties universities are facing in terms of providing these quality services to students,